This is the weirdest episode of Ben 10. I know that's very subjective, but come on. Just saying Ben 10 is pregnant and has babies, that has to land this episode at the very top of the weird list. It's more nuanced than that, obviously. Big Chill's instincts end up overwhelming Ben, causing him to eat a ton of metal. As an audience, we know this has happened once before with Ghost Freak, something Gwen actually even points out.
Like maybe these ghost personalities are just plain evil.
So the stakes are pretty high, as another Omnitrix alien on the loose is bad news. We get Julie helping Ben out, furthering their relationship. I don't know how Ben ever fumbles her. She's willing to follow a giant moth around all night for him. She is committed. Anyway, speaking of romance, Gwen not so subtly hints to Kevin that he should take her to the school dance.
What, you want me to take you to the dance?
Great, pick me up at 7.
What?
Kevin goes to Ben for advice for some reason, and we see the motherly instincts have seeped into Ben's regular personality.
Don't you look dapper?
Go easy on those pickles, by the way. This all leads to the conclusion where the little chills come out of this green goo, and Ben is basically back to normal afterwards. We never see those kids again, and we're left with Gwen and Kevin sharing a dance in front of the afterbirth. Weird. Find a weirder episode. I bet you can't. Here's our full review of Save the Last Dance. Just the weirdest little episode of Ben 10. I like it, though. Don't get me wrong. It's a good episode.
It's just, you know, we have instances of this in our culture with like seahorses and stuff.
Yeah.
But even with seahorses, it's just weird. You know what I mean? Honestly, though, I think with seahorses it's weirder because I've seen one give birth and they're shitting out like 100 of those little bad boys. You know what I mean? Thank God we didn't have to see like a pregnant.
They were very tasteful with it.
Yeah,
It wasn't
big
like
chill.
It wasn't like, oh my god, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
I think it's more of an asexual reproduction too. Like it's not. At least it's not like we get to see him mate with another big chill or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's just they're all just one gender and spit out babies.
With that being said, we are the Binge Warmers. Welcome back. My name is Steven.
My name is Hopper. Today we're looking at the episode Save the Last Dance. Should have been called Ben 10 Gets Babies. Ben 10 goes on welfare for having 17 babies as a teenager boy.
It's either TMZ's covering it, Jerry Springer, or TLC.
Ah, TLC. He's wait, how many kids does he have? Because there's like a
The
whole Octomom
TLC
show.
is actually going to be Julie's point of view. I married an alien who gave birth to 17 kids. Ask me anything.
You think Julie was like, I hope it's not because I kissed him that one
Yeah.
time? Like,
Oh, but anyway, before we get into that, let's talk about comment of the week from last week's episode. Comes from Love Demon Wolf 2.0. He says, I don't like how the Omnitrix is sometimes fragile and then sometimes it's hard as rock. I have this problem too, and I think it's a lot of consistency with different writers as well, which you could back me up if yes or no.
I agree. Yeah.
And the consistency of it's really annoying because like this is a more serious part of the Ben 10 series as a whole.
Yep.
You would expect the most consistencies to come out of this one from the other ones. So I also agree with that, and it's one of my pet peeves too. You kind of just have to live with it.
We didn't mention this last time either, but like their Omnitrices
Yeah.
like collided, and he goes like, "How do we get these apart?" And he's like, "Well, one of us could die," and it's like, no, that's not what happens. They just one of them turns red, and then they just separate. Like,
Yeah, it's not hard. Or just it's
if you're gonna be consistent in one episode at least. Don't
Yeah.
even throw that line in there. Just be like, it's stuck. I don't know.
yeah. But thank you. I love the Demon Wolf 2.0 for that comment. You guys leave a comment on this one if you want to be highlighted out next week. Well, let's get into it.
I like the beginning of this episode quite a deal. Quite a big deal of love for the beginning of this episode.
Oh yeah, why is that?
Because we get to see Ben saving people. And that's something modern superhero media doesn't really do. I mean, some will, but a lot of times it's just about fighting a villain or, you know, stopping a universal threat or whatever. I love that, like, there's a car out of control. For like, the brakes don't work, and Ben sees it, and he's like, that's no joyride, and he goes after it, and Big Chill saves him, you know?
If you see it in modern media movies, it's only their origin movie.
Yeah, agreed.
After that, it's on to bigger and badder things. I think the only ones that stay consistent are the Spider-Man movies.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
With Toby, Andrew, and Tom Holland.
Yeah.
They're always saving someone at some point in each of their movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say like even like the bigger like team up movie. I remember there's like a Justice League thing where they like reshot to like put a family thing in there. But like that's again like this universal threat. You don't need that if there's that. Just have the Flash like saving people in the beginning or something.
Well, I liked it because in the Zack Snyder cut, I think you follow that family throughout the entire movie.
Do
if
you?
I'm not mistaken.
I don't
It's
remember.
been a hot minute.
I was gonna
since
say I don't
watched the
remember.
movie.
For whatever reason, I thought they were like a Joss Whedon edition, but I don't know.
I don't think they were a Joss Whedon edition, but you know. Correct us in the comments if we're wrong. But yeah, I do miss that because it's nice to just see you save a cat in a tree kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's why I'm hoping DC or James Gunn bring back to the DCU.
Yeah,
just a little bit more humanity to the heroes. You know what I mean?
Yep. There was a shot in the trailer where Superman like swoops in and saves a girl, and everyone's like, "Yeah, Pink."
Yeah, exactly. There's a a set photo too where he's like saving a cat or something.
Yeah,
so
probably
he
so.
legit may save a cat out of a tree in like
That
a montage.
it better be in it. I don't know why
Yeah,
it wouldn't.
I mean,
like,
we
just
like
have that.
that.
Yeah, because we want to set up this vibe of a character.
Exactly.
That's Superman to a T. Is he'll
Exactly.
stop and help a girl with
Yeah.
a cat in the tree.
But anyway, like bringing it back to Ben 10, yes, he did save, but then he instantly ruins it because it's not actually Ben anymore. He's just like, "Bah, I'm gonna eat your car."
Which what does that taste like? To Ben, not to Big Show, but to Ben. How does it taste
Blood?
to eat a bloody
Well, blood tastes like metal because of the
Yeah.
iron in it. So
Okay.
I guess it just tastes like iron.
iron?
Yeah.
We get another one of those little moments like where Upchuck burps up a screw, or Ben burps up a screw after being Upchuck. He like picks out a piece of metal from his actual teeth.
Makes no sense. That would have cut your mouth to shreds, dude.
He's just like flossing or something, or like brushing his teeth. He's like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
You wouldn't. That's not how. It doesn't work like that.
And he's not even that weirded out. He goes to Kevin and he goes, "Always floss. I found this in my mouth." And Kevin's like, "What?"
I was like, I don't care. He's like, how does this help me with Gwen? Because
Yeah.
they're doing the whole. This is the whole. They call it Save the Last Dance because Gwen and Kevin are going to go to a dance together.
Yeah.
She very forcefully makes him invite her.
Also, very inconsiderate. It takes like months to get ready for one of the
Oh,
swans
yeah.
to get like the tux, the
Easy.
corsage, all that stuff. She goes, "Hey, pick me up in 4 days. Hope you have what you need."
Well, maybe we can infer a little bit that she had been like dropping hints for a while. Maybe he just hadn't picked up on them. So then she was pushed to this moment where she's like, and
Yeah.
she like yanks him up from under the car,
Yeah.
drops the thing on him.
Always working on that stupid car. That's what she's. Every time she walks in there, always working on your stupid car.
Take that stupid car to the dance instead.
Yeah, sleep with that car in the bed, huh? How about that? Sleep in your car, buddy.
Put that video of that guy from that TLC show where he's like underneath the car.
Dude, that's so disturbing.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
but put it in anyway.
I like that this is sort of our entry into Gwen and Kevin's like deeper relationship.
Yeah.
They get the little dance at the end. Kevin's really frustrated about not knowing the forks of
Yeah.
the event.
The forks are an ever-occurring thing in this entire episode.
I think it's just one thing he focused on. He's like, he's not a high society class man like the rest of Gwen's,
Yeah.
Prep school people are. But there's like a dinner along with the dance, so like he's having to learn the forks. It would have been fine.
He doesn't even have to. He just thought he had to.
Yeah, right.
He was like, "Oh, I gotta know the spoons. The spoons."
He looks good, like kind of dressed up. He's wearing Grandpa Max's old tux.
Why does Ben have that in his closet?
I don't know. Ben, there's actually precedent because in the classic series he wears Grandpa Max's like little red thing to the alien
his
wedding.
Old tux.
Real old tux.
Yeah.
So at least he got out of that by the time he was like 18 or whatever.
Yeah, he also got out of the racism by then too.
The xenophobia,
Yeah,
the aliencism.
yeah. But no, it was cool because we learned that Ben is pregnant with Big Chill babies by the end of this. But
Yeah.
throughout this whole episode, Ben's got like motherly instincts, so he's helping Kevin. I always thought it was a little gross, right? Because he was eating pickles.
Yeah.
Pickles are very aromatic, you know?
Yeah.
And he's all up in, like, if you were eating pickles and you came to tie my tie, dude, all I'm smelling is the pickles on your fingers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was a little grossed out thinking about the actual fingers being that close. And he's tying the tie to begin.
He was like drinking the juice.
Yeah,
he was going
dude.
all in on those pickles, man.
Yeah, so I was like, I would have been like, hey, pop his hand.
Stop
Like,
that.
Get that away from me. You go wash your hands first, please.
Can we talk about the implications of Ben getting human pregnancy cravings while his aliens are pregnant?
Yeah,
How does that work?
I don't know.
It shouldn't work.
It shouldn't, but it does.
This might just be a glitch of the Omnitrix. Maybe,
Yeah.
hopefully, he never has to.
Yeah.
His aliens don't have to give birth again like this.
Well, he said every 80 years, so they're insinuating that Ben's not going to be alive in 80 years.
Oh God.
Because Kevin literally says, you won't have to worry about it. It's once every 80 years.
Well, I guess 80 years from that moment, he might not be there.
Yeah, but he gets a new watch anyway, so
Yeah, you're right.
it shouldn't happen.
I think the assumption too, because the big gauntlet with the if we're to look at Event 10,000, obviously, because I know there's a bunch of different, older bins or whatever. But the assumption is that like he upgrades it himself. Like
Yeah.
he uses Frankenstrike and Gray Matter and whoever else to like upgrade the watch, so that way it like fixes little quirks like
Azimuth
this.
wouldn't call it upgrading. Azimuth would call it
Yeah.
with it. You're with things you shouldn't be.
Ben Tennyson, quit messing up my greatest invention.
You done messed it up.
I love Azimuth voice. Whenever I stream sometimes, I always do like, I don't know why it just comes around to this because we end up talking about Ben 10 on the streams and stuff. It always turns into like either angry or horny Azimuth. It's always
Yeah.
like, Ben Tennyson, turn into that hot ass tiger man. Ben Tennyson, I hate you. Turn into that big sexy turtle or whatever.
Who's the big sexy turtle?
It's a Terraspin or,
He's big and sexy?
I mean, to some people probably. To Azimuth maybe.
No, but we do get some interesting Julie development here because Kevin and Gwen are both busy with their stuff, so Ben has to go talk with
Yep.
Julie instead. And Julie's out there practicing, and she's like, "Yeah, just talk to me while I'm practicing." And I'm like, "I would not. My whole thing is on the tennis ball. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Don't try to talk to me. I'm in practice. Give me an hour, like she said. You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
And then she immediately just quits. She goes, "Well, let me just get dressed real quick. We'll go figure this out."
That's how you know she likes him.
Yeah, that's a
because
real
I
one.
would, done, you know, if I was practicing something and a girl I liked came up and said, "Oh, yeah, let's do this. We're doing it."
Toss it over the fence. I quit my hobbies. You know what I mean? But no, she gets on her little scooter moped thing, and she's taking diligent notes.
Very detailed.
Every 2 minutes, she's got something written down. She's got fingers just the flash. You know what
flash fingers,
The
yeah.
flash fingers. But Ben starts eating just random metal shit. You know? It's crazy.
Drinking like big gulps of lava.
Yeah.
Or whatever you can find.
I wonder what that tastes like.
A red cherry.
Oh, okay. Now I've got to
fruit
drink
punch?
lava. Thank you.
What is it, like an orange flavor? Like orange Gatorade?
Maybe like a Jello consistency.
Mmm.
What does it feel like? What does the lava feel like?
It's just like big hot metal, I guess.
But
I don't know.
how liquids, like, what's the consistency? Can you stick your fingers in, or can you only stick them in because they're melting as they're going into the substance?
Since it cools and turns into rock, like after it cools
Yeah.
off, do you think it like cooled in his belly or whatever? Or you think it just stayed lava in his belly?
He probably kept it lava because he needed it lava. Well, he spit out lava.
Oh, you're right. He did spit out lava.
How does that work? He's all about chilling things, though.
Maybe he's like, the insides are so coated with chill that it just like. No, I don't know. He's not- yeah, there's no-
No, you got me there.
When we were watching it, I think you said this is somehow related to his ultimate form. Like maybe his stomach could just hold fire. or
Yeah,
whatever.
because when
I
he
don't
was
know.
spitting it, it looked like, essentially what Ultimate Big Chill does.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird.
That would have been such a like. I'll get off Ultimate Big Chill. I'll hop off the man because I know people like him.
I love Ultimate.
I know you like him. I think his color scheme's okay, but like have him spit out lava or something. Have him be like a lava motif instead of just fire. Like that would have been cool. Add like a different element.
But the
to
whole
it.
thing is fire is so hot it freezes.
Doesn't make any sense. Dude.
Or no, it's so cold it burns.
Shut the.
I'm telling you, you take something super cold and you put it on you, it feels like you're getting burned.
He's spitting fire out of his mouth. How is that freezing people?
Because it's not actually fire.
What is it? Ice?
You ever watch Demon Slayer?
No,
Have you really not?
I haven't seen Demon Slayer.
Well, you know how they're spinning and you got like fire and electricity and water?
Sure.
That's not actually there, okay? It's all visual effects. The guy said that. People get mad about that. It's the
Oh,
same
okay.
thing, okay? It's a visual effect to show you what's happening.
We're not even talking about Ultimate Alien yet.
But the
It's nice to have a Big Chill centric episode.
yes,
because he
he's
is
so
one of my
cool.
favorites. I
So
think.
sick.
He's a big
The
moth
way
guy.
he talks, his little mouth.
Go on.
Yeah,
Fly.
yeah, I love that. And he's blue.
It's a sweet moment.
He looks like a hobo. And he-
Goes from hobo to like anorexic monster in
Yeah.
2.2 seconds.
oh, do you like him because he looks like Mothra?
Kinda. I mean, he's not really Mothra, but
He's
I
a
like
big
I
moth.
like moth characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mothman.
Mothman.
Killer Moth from Teen Titans is cool.
Oh yeah, he is.
I like that he's like a joke to
He's a
Batman.
big dad, but
Yeah.
he's got the head of a moth.
I like that he's kind of a joke to the Batman crew, but like
Yeah.
in Teen Titans, he's like an actual kind of threat.
Yeah,
You know?
in the Lego games, he like flies towards the light and it falls on him. But I think he dies. Like everyone's breaking out of Arkham and he sees like a light and it
That's
falls on
the
him.
funniest shit in
I'm
the
pretty
world,
sure
dude.
this could be like half remembering, half imagination. But no, it's really fun. The egg at the end, it's all metal and then it's just full of green pus is what it
Yeah.
looks like. And then I guess he shot his eggs out there. Thank God we didn't see where it came from.
Yeah, I don't need. The less we know about this, the better.
The better. I like that he doesn't attack Julie really. He's just like, okay, you can follow me, but I'm kind of doing my own thing.
He doesn't really hurt anybody. He tells people to scram,
Yeah.
and he tells people to get out of his way. And he does freeze a like an officer.
Yeah,
like
a couple officers who have laser guns.
laser. They do have laser guns. Are they officers or more like?
They look like security guards,
security guards.
which is weird that they have laser guns. It's a metal foundry. You know what I mean? Like what's the word?
Factory.
Metal works, like
Yeah.
fab shop or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I think just the world of Ben 10, security guards have way more
Yeah.
funds and technology and weaponry than they need.
yeah,
Because you think about the
they took
mall
all the
episode.
military funding and they funded security instead.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm with that.
I'm assuming there was more alien attacks and alien technology got incorporated in it. But like but not for the normal people.
Not for the normal.
Not at this
people
point.
don't. The normies don't get that.
No, maybe like in like later half of Omniverse where like the aliens are living with the people.
Yeah.
I could see that. Sure, sharing
Yeah.
technology, no biggie.
Yeah.
But like in Alien Force like season 2, no,
No,
nobody knows
Wrong.
about no aliens. No,
No.
no more.
we don't need no stinking badges.
What about So he tried. So and I like the. progression of how it affects Ben. So he turns into Big Chill first.
Yeah.
And then the instincts take over. And then he tries to turn into Jet Ray. Doesn't work. The watch just switches him right to Big Chill. And then after that, he turns into, or he just stops what he's doing and just turns into Big Chill. So he, as a human, it affects him as a human. Strong enough.
Yeah, it's starting to like degrade because the first time he actively chose Big Chill.
Yeah.
That we think maybe he
It was a
didn't.
good alien to save the car.
Yeah.
He could have done it.
Second time he turns into something else and then it overrides it. Third time he doesn't even want to change.
Yeah.
The watch is taking over. So you see that decline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
It must affect his memory as well because he doesn't remember being Big Chill, like eating stuff.
Yeah.
And whenever he wakes up, like on the side of the road in the ditch, he's like, "Oh, that's weird." Then he goes home and he's eating pickles and he goes, "Where's Julie?"
Yeah, wait, what's
What
going
the heck?
on? I forgot, you know?
I like that aspect of it.
And Julie's just okay with it. She's like, you ditched me like 3 nights in a row kind of thing. But, you know, obviously you're going through something. I love by the end of it, too. So Kevin is finally ready. He's going to this dance with
We
Gwen.
rented a video on Forks.
Yep. And then Gwen's like, oh, you look good. You got a corsage. This is so great. And he's like, yeah, Ben's been giving me tips. And she goes,
Ben.
we can't go to the dance. Julie said something about Ben, and now he's giving you advice. Obviously something's wrong.
He's so bad at giving advice that's
Yeah.
a red flag that her
Yeah.
cousin has to.
He opens the
stop
door.
the
She's
dance.
not even, she's just, no, we gotta go. And he's like, no, I got so ready for this, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
Sweet moment though at the end where they're like dancing.
Yeah.
He turns up the radio and they start dancing.
And they get the lights from the car and stuff.
And there's like the pussy after particles from the burst.
Just floating around, dude. Gross.
What about the babies? Do you wish the babies had come back in some capacity to be?
I
helped
want
in
a
or whatever?
plushie of the baby.
There's I don't know who said it, and it might have even been pop-up trivia. I don't think it was, but it's probably Derek J. Wyatt from Omniverse because he'd be saying some stuff.
Yeah.
I think he said that Ken, Ben's human child, has met at least one of the Big Chill babies in the future.
Here's the thought process behind it too. Either A, those Big Chill babies spread around the Earth and now they're part of the ecosystems, or B, they flew into space and they went back to their home planet and now they can breathe in space and have faster than light travel to get to their home planet.
Well, in this episode, Kevin's reading off his thing. He's like, the Necrophrygian, that's Big Chill's race. He said, like, it always bugged me because, like, they're the Necrophrygians. You wouldn't just say human, that's Steven's race.
Yeah.
You would say Necrophrygians, that's what Big Chill is.
According to this, Necrophrygian, that's Big Chill's race. They live in space where it's cold, and then they feed on solar plasma.
He said that they eat plasma from suns. So, like, they
can breathe in space then.
I don't think they breathe at all. I think they just are in space because they're kind of
okay.
ghost-like.
But that's the thing, too. I doubt they're anywhere close to our solar system. So either they're spending their entire life getting home, or they can fly faster than light.
Doesn't that episode where they see a bunch of other like white Big Chills or something? They're like on a frozen planet or like
they're like vampire-y, I think.
something. I think they're like guarding a temple.
Yeah, they're
or-
like rabbit, I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna call it UA Ultimate Alien, where they're like, how come
It's
you?
when they're trying to get one of the keys.
I think so. Yeah,
think so.
And they say like, how come you are one of us? And he's like, I'm one of everyone.
Yeah.
That's a good moment from that
Yeah,
little
that is
episode.
cool. So maybe they're in several planets.
Maybe it could be. Yeah, I would assume if they just live in space, like they're probably
Yeah.
nomadic. They probably just live wherever. Although
'Cause
I guarantee
if they eat
you,
a sun,
yeah,
after a while the sun's going to go away.
sure, eventually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would assume that there's some information on the wiki. I'll pop up here
Yeah.
if you care, but
Yeah. Leave it in the comments if you want us to, and we'll go back and re-edit it.
no, let's just throw it up there if something's there. If it's like home planet Necrophrygia,
Yeah,
then I'll
yeah.
put it there. But I like Big Chill mainly because he's got like I think a good design aspect is you take two powers and mush them together:
He's got like 3 powers.
flight, intangibility, and ice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean flight kind of comes along with the tangibility in my head.
No.
Well, no, not in this specific case. 'cause he's got
Lemillion
wings.
can't fly.
He can kind of do it if he like goes down far
That's
enough.
not flying. That's momentum.
That's falling with style.
It's actually shooting up with style. He's actually a meth addict.
Anyway, but I like that kind of design aspect of like this is a moth who can go invisible and also free stuff. Like that's
Yeah.
cool. Also, even like if you take a bunch of these characters, like loud sounds and duplication, you know, fire and grass,
Brimstone.
powers. Yeah, fire and brimstone.
Yeah. Every time I hear that, I think of Shrek.
It's brimstone.
I like
And
how
he-
he eats that man's head. He eats that burger boy's head.
He could have ate the whole statue, but he eats the arm and then the head and then leaves the rest to go find more. It's like me eating part of a buffet and then going, I need more. But then I get in my car and drive to a different buffet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like how he freezes some metal to eat it. Like it makes it easier for him to eat or something.
Yes. Well, I think he froze it to break it down. That way, then he could just pick it up and eat it.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Good attention to detail and use of powers.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this is the only episode... Well, no, he turns into Jet Ray for a second. I was going to say this is the only episode where he only turns into one alien.
Yeah.
But that's probably not true. I'm sure there's other examples. What about Wrath? That episode, I think he only turns into Wrath. Julie, nice to have Julie around for a little while. I like that Julie and Gwen get to kind of vent, and she was like, yeah, he turned into an alien and ditched me. And Gwen's like, yeah, he does that sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not that weird.
But it is a little weird to not tell you why he's ditching you. You know what I mean?
I think Gwen should have taken it a little more seriously.
Yeah, for sure.
Sooner, I guess. That's about all I got. I really like this episode. I might even give it like an 8 for rememberability, 9 for
And just
execution.
comic, like, iconicness of it.
It's very iconic, yeah.
Yeah, because you remember this one. This isn't something you forget.
If you ask anyone about Ben 10, like, and say, remember the episode where he's pregnant and he has babies? He'll be like,
Everyone.
oh, yeah!
Yeah,
Like,
and it's a great conversation starter, you know?
I like that it shows the diversity of aliens. Like, he can turn into asexual aliens, essentially.
Yeah.
If he, I'm sure
I don't think
there's-
it's asexual, is it?
Yeah, sure, because he reproduces asexually. He doesn't sexually reproduce.
That's true. Unless you got something explaining to do to Julie.
Unless
Like,
Julie
it was a
did it,
one
like I
night
said.
thing, you know?
It was the moth in my bedroom. You
Yeah,
know? She was
she
eating
was
my
just,
clothes.
you
I had to
know.
go up to her.
Yeah. I thought I could talk to her a big chill, and then, one thing led to another.
That was Save the Last Dance, folks.
Yeah. But thank you guys for watching this with us. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. If you have, what are your thoughts on it? Do you like this little bit of Big Chill lore? Do you like having Julie in more episodes? Let us know all that in the comments down below, and we will see you guys next Monday.
Goodbye, big freak.